And see, this is what happens when you have people that really don't read shit. If you look at, and I got to give a shout out to AC, because AC, man, I said this years ago, and AC mentioned it on this video. Shout out to AC. We told y'all that during the Civil War, before the Civil War, you had the black men that were trying to constantly run and get freedom. The black men constantly try to have slave uprisings. You know, it was constant slave uprisings. A lot of them almost succeeded. Some of them were destroyed before in their infancy. But it was constant, a lot of slave revolts. But guess who had them slave revolts put down? This is for who? What's her name? Kendra, Cynthia G, Pissy Chrissy, and all these other women who always talk this shit that black men never fought or try to fight for their freedom. Well, we did. But a lot of times, see, we had a problem. We had a big problem. See, a lot of you black women, a lot of the black women on the plantation who was laying there with Master Williamson III was going back and telling them everything that was going down. She had ears on the ground. See, what y'all don't know, these black women will have biracial children by Brad. And those, if you all ever seen Star Trek, Star Wars, the animated, no, not Star Wars, Transformers, the animated series. It was a character named Soundwave. And Soundwave was a cassette tape. Anybody remember the Transformers? You know, I had Soundwave, the Soundwave Transformers and shit, Soundwave. And Soundwave had these cassettes. He had Ravage, Rumble, Laserbeak, Rat Bat, and another one, I forgot the other one name, the other little one. But Soundwave have these cassettes that transform into, Laserbeak would turn into a bird, an eagle. Rat Attack would turn into a bat, and then it'll listen in. Now, these black women, if you remember, the black women have biracial children. A lot of times, those biracial children were sent down there to go and spy on what's going on the plantation. Now, I'm gonna show y'all something. All the field hens and field people, they were singing hymns and shit. Every time the housemaid would come out there, they'll stop singing. And a lot of times the house niggas didn't communicate with the field niggas. That's a big reason why. That's why when slave rebellions popped off, the slaves in the slave house, they would be scared as fuck when the field niggas rose up, because they know they the first ones that's gonna be took out. So they will have to work to keep that shit from happening. So what you had, most of your field hens were mostly maids and a few women. But most of your house niggas were, you know, they might have a whole bunch of young women, a big woman that would breastfeed, that he kept her pregnant so she could have, you know, breed offspring so they could, you know, sell them off to slavery. They use her as a brood maid. When they have the mistress have a baby, she feed on that big woman titty. So they would have their biracial children, and those children would go down and spy on what's going on. And every time they see that biracial child down there, nobody would talk to the child, nobody would cut them, stop talking and everything. the housemaids come out there, she mostly gave orders, mostly a woman, or the old Uncle Ben fucking butler, like the boy on the Jingo on Change, or make sure everything runs smoothly on the plantation from the house to the field. Now, when slaves try to run away, they normally try to take their woman with them, but a lot of times women didn't want to come. Either one, it was for fear, or one, they felt that they didn't trust him well enough because he wasn't a white man. So them brothers like, fuck that, I'm going here. That's why the slaves would try to run as far west as they possibly. People think all the men went north. No, they didn't go north. They went west. They went further west into Indian territory. Them black slaves went into Indian territory, and they would tell the Native Americans about the white man, to tell them how to defeat them, how to fight them. That's how you think the Comanches and all them knew how to fight the motherfucking white man when they came out west. You know why? Because they had a few black former slaves fighting with them that showed them how to fight. They showed them how to fight the white men. So you had those black slaves running far away from that white man as they can. But that woman never left their house, never left the slave plantation. She stayed on that slave plantation. Even after the Civil War, when they got doing Reconstruction, a lot of them women and their sons and their biracial children and sons that they got by the black man would stay on their field of 10 miles of Willis Field. We all know that it's sharecropping. So you had that. So you have 400 years of black women being indoctrinated by white supremacy. So it only makes sense that black women would be tied more to white men than to black men. It only makes sense. This is why you have black women that talk double talk this divestment shit. This is why you have them want to have they foot in both sides, in a pro-black side, and then with a white man, so they could go basically. And I tell niggas, y'all shouldn't trust black women that talk pro-black shit and they got a white man. Y'all shouldn't even listen to her. She shouldn't even be involved with y'all ass. And we see that shit a lot. But we look at these pro-black women with their white man. I say, how y'all gonna trust that bitch? Like Angela Davis. Angela Davis was another old fake pro-black bitch that laid up with white men and shit, and then they came back to the black community because they could, they didn't. She like Angela Davis was biracial. A lot of motherfuckers don't know that she was biracial. So she couldn't stay with the white man she wanted, so she became pro-black. And this how you had the fake pro-black divestors and swirlers, which to me are way more deadlier and dangerous to the black community than just the straight divestors. Because at least you can see the straight divestors. But the pro-black divestor, she a motherfucker like a Cleona Romulan cloaked ship. And they bring white men into the movement. That's why I say I don't understand when you have pro-black movements and you have one white man in it. A white man somewhere in it. Always a white man. He going back and spying on shit. That's why a lot of those slaves, how a lot of those black, pro-black, like the Black Panthers got destroyed from outsiders. Because we too goddamn trusting. So, black women has always been worked side by side with white supremacy. Knowingly, willingly, or unwillingly. Because how you gonna fight pro-black, how you gonna be pro-black and you got a white man on your side? He going back reporting all kind of shit. But yes, that black woman has been indoctrinated in white supremacy for too long. Now, am I saying all black women? You might have a handful that's not. But the vast majority of them, especially there's some divestors and swirlers and shit, or was formerly some divestors and swirlers, you can't really trust them. You can't trust them. I feel like this. If you was dating a white man and all of a sudden now you switched up and now you want to date a black man, nope, I'll tell y'all niggas don't do it. You can't trust her. Can't trust her. Can't trust her, man, because they indoctrinated by white supremacy. Most black women are indoctrinated by white supremacy. That includes some of the females in our family. Yep, I hate to say it. And y'all brothers know this the truth, what I'm saying. Y'all know this the truth. Now, am I telling y'all to hate black women and despise black women? No. But we got to tell the truth to shame the devil.